Okay, let's do a singles love reading to see what may be in store for you. This is a timeless collective reading for whenever it finds you. Only take it if it resonates. Okay, wow, this is intriguing. There is somebody who is looking to settle down. It seems like it is somebody from your past. There's a lot of nostalgia there, a lot of fond feelings, a lot of fond memories. Could have been someone you've known for years. They could be an air sign, or they could just be, and they could be a masculine, but it doesn't have to be. They could just be very logical, always in their thoughts, not really so much about feelings or actions or passion, very much in the realm of the mind, the thoughts, the fears. It is the king in the upright, so that is someone acting out of integrity, probably really thinking hard about the right thing to do, making the right choice. That will be very important to them. In some way, this is going to bring you justice. It might be somebody who, going by this karmic connection card here, there are lessons here. It looks like it's been a bit of a hard road in the past. Maybe things have been quite rocky. Or if not rocky, they've been hard energies to ground. But this isn't someone toxic. So if there's been someone absolutely vile, toxic, violent, vindictive, anything like that, that's not this. This is a good person with a good heart who may have just mucked you around out of fear, but justice is coming in. Patience is required, just reinforcing the fact that it has been a long road, and the road is still stretching out in the distance, but there is definitely the idea, this is the flamingos card of soulmates, lovers, two of a kind, dating, courtship, attraction, just sort of thinking about the birds doing their mating dance, long-term potential, displays of affection, it factor, yeah, two of a kind. It's sort of like a power couple that look great together. So that's the energy around this. It does feel very good, or it looks good. Shall we say it looks good? But the truth of the pudding, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. It's not in how the pudding looks, it's how the pudding tastes, the practicalities of it. That's where patience is required. There's going to have to be a balancing act. There's either a decision that's going to have to be made, someone's going to have to make a choice between two people, or there's going to be a balance to find, equilibrium to find, and it's going to take a lot of work. Not that it's going to be arduous, but it'll take time and practical application, not words, not promises, not flowers and chocolates. It's going to take actual action, effort, practical steps, and really getting to know each other. Communication is the key to all of this. Gemini sort of influence here, talking to make sure that things are balanced, to make sure that you're both putting in the work and are both contributing to this. It does seem to be a love offer that comes in after a long time of waiting and working. Now, because it is a karmic connection and it has taken an age to get to this point, and there are more delays yet to come, there is going to need to be more patience required to go down this particular path, or to finish learning these lessons. Sometimes karmic connections come in to show you who you are, to show you where the gaps are in your self-worth, where your boundaries are not firm enough. You know, people come in and they test your boundaries. They sort of have a bit of a, whether they know it or not, that's what they're doing. If they're triggering you, that is a great indication that you've got work to do on your boundaries. So that's a gift that this person is giving you. They might be fucking annoying. They might really let you down, but really those are your boundary issues that are being illuminated to you. That is a fucking gift. So it does require give and take. It requires balance, again, very much balancing out two energies, keeping grounded. There's keeping your emotion, your 1 foot in the emotions and 1 foot in the groundedness in the earth, and just keeping on an even keel and being patient. It can be old issues resurfacing to test you again, to test those boundaries that you have worked hard on. Maybe that's what this hard work has been. This in separation, you've been working on your boundaries really diligently, but guess what? They're coming back to sort of have another go and just see where those boundaries are. There is the opportunity there for a very serious commitment, something formal. So not just a small kind of love offer or an apology, but an actual, let's do this, let's ground this in something real kind of energy. And what I see with the Page of Pentacles, further to that, is a decision. There's an offer being made, a tangible offer, and this page is looking at this going, I'm not sure. So there is a decision that only you can make. And so we've got the flamingos from before, remember, we've got the sort of the mating rituals, a bit of the dance, a bit of the fluffing of the feathers, a bit of the peacocking, but we've really got to get beyond that, because on the surface, yes, it is a lovely looking couple, but there's something karmic there. Now, the fairy tale card, sometimes I find this very delightful, and sometimes I get a different feeling from it, and today I'm getting a different feeling from it. I don't know if you can read that. I will read it out to you. Believe the impossible, daydreams, romantic ending, universal archetypes, hopefulness, magic, unicorns and rainbows, happily ever after, and the fanciful ideas and the stories we tell ourselves. And it's the stories we tell ourselves that is really jumping out at me today, and the fanciful nature of the fairy tales. The rose-tinted spectacles, because you are being asked to be a scuba diver and go deep. Going within, really studying yourself. Again, it's looking at your boundaries and what you really genuinely want. Self-examination, exploring the unconscious mind, the desire to know very deeply and profoundly. So it is getting into your deepest truths and the deepest truths of the other person. So there is a lot to kind of pass here. Unfortunately, yeah, it does seem like it's a slow process, and you know, it might have been a very long, slow process to start with. So you might be just like at the end of your tether and just wanting to move on. But there may still be one last little lesson here, or this could be the end of this cycle that frees you up to move on together and build something together. You're being asked to create something new, to innovate. And so you can do that together, or you can do that alone. I think the key that feels like letting go of whatever has been in the past between you. Like, okay, there might have been complete fuckery on one side or both sides. There is the challenge there to set that aside and create something new together or separately. By knowing yourself and by knowing what you want and what will make you happy, by taking that deep dive into your own psyche, being honest with yourself about what would genuinely make you happy, and can that person genuinely fulfill this for you, that will allow you to go out and innovate and create the life that you want on your own if necessary. For some reason, you are being asked whether you are a masculine or feminine energy yourself, or whatever gender you identify with, to really get into your feminine energies. And I think that is the going within, the intuition, the looking deeply within. It's also receiving, learning to receive. You know, people think giving is such a great thing. Being a giver, it can be quite an obnoxious act to always be the giver. It is a power position. If you're the giver, you're in control. You're like a puppet master. I'm giving you this. Oh, I'm giving you that. Aren't I amazing? You're kind of bullying people sometimes with giving. And it can either be bullying, like I'm you know, so amazing and I'm giving you all these things, aren't I incredible, and you owe me. Or it's kind of obsequious. It's like, please like me, I'm giving you all these things. It's a desperation, you know. So giving can be toxic in a couple of different ways. Of course, if you give freely of your heart, with joy and no expectation of return, it is a beautiful, wondrous thing. But if that's your mode of control, then you've got to really look at that. And if that's that person's mode of control, they have to learn to receive, to how to accept. There's something quite deep about actually being open to receive. If you're the one that's giving, giving is a bit of a boundary. It's a bit of a keep people at arm's length. Receiving means you actually have to open wide. it's quite a defenseless place when you're receiving, because somebody could make you feel bad for receiving. They could make you feel less than, they could make you feel lower than them. You know, there's a real power dynamic in the giving and receiving. So you might have to be being very aware of who is giving, who is taking. Is there equality there? Because if there's not, if one person just can't receive and the other person, you know, can't give, you might even find that one person can give sexually and that's the way they communicate, but they can't give emotionally. And the other person might be giving emotionally, and not receiving anything back tangibly. And that is an imbalance. One person is giving, one person is taking, but it's a mismatch in energies. So you really want your energies to be aligned. Equal give and take in all aspects of life, spiritual, physical, emotional, in your ideas, thoughts, your visions for the future, getting your vision sorted out for what your life will look like, together or alone. There is no place for fairy tales in this. There's no place for the romantic posturing, the frivolous kind of appearances. This is a deep dive situation because it is karmic. And with karmic connections come great rewards. But it cannot be, if you go into it without thinking about it, if you go into it taking everything on the surface value, someone proposes something to you, you go, wow, that seems great, that looks great, it's everything I've ever wanted, I'm going to do it. You might really be locking yourself into something for a little while or a long while that really doesn't serve you. And you'll learn the hard way that once you're enmeshed, once you've kind of accepted somebody's terms, it's very hard to get them to renegotiate, shall we say. So when you've got no boundaries, it's very hard to actually claw back and put them in, because people will go, what the fuck are you doing? You've changed the rules. This isn't how we set ourselves up to be. And with good reason. You know, you're kind of negotiating a relationship. As terrible as that may sound, you are negotiating your energies. You're trying to blend the energies of two people into a new entity. And they have to fit. Otherwise, it's just going to be a tangle, or, you know, it's not going to work. You really have to harmoniously blend together to be strong and then grow together. Wow, so this was all a bit of a big dump. So this isn't a forecast. This is not, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, you're going to get a happily ever after. This is an energy kind of advice so that you know what you're getting into, so that you can use the energy. Save this video if you need to come back to it. But look, someone is looking to settle down. They're going to come at you. It might be a bit more of a long road, or it may have been a very long road, but there is this love offer coming in, and really it's up to you to decide whether this is right for you, whether this is right for the both of you. And if you would like a personal reading from me, obviously look at my snip feed page. There are a few options there. I'd love to help you. But otherwise, I hope this has given you the tools that you need to embrace this opportunity with curiosity, with interest, with introspection, so that it works for the highest good of you both. So this is Sarah, wishing you much abundance, love, and joy.